All right, welcome, get ready, because today we are diving deep into some of the world's most unbelievable true stories. Seriously, we found some facts that sound like they were ripped straight from a movie script, but I promise you, they are all 100% real. These stories are going to make you question everything you think you know. So, let's jump right in.
So, to kick things off, we've got a story about one of the biggest movie stars on the planet and one of the most exclusive, high-end tar brands in the entire world. You'd think they'd be a perfect match, right? Well, a very simple, very public slip-up changed everything.
Okay, so picture this. It's the premiere of Mission Impossible 3. Tom Cruise pulls up in his own Bugatti. The cameras are flashing, the crowd is going wild, and he just can't get the door open. He's fumbling with the handle for what probably felt like an absolute eternity. You know, just a small, embarrassing moment for him. But for Bugatti, it was a huge problem.
And here's the kicker. Bugatti was apparently so mortified by this whole thing, they blacklisted Tom Cruise. Yeah, he is now banned from buying their cars for life. It's a pretty extreme reaction, and honestly, it sets the tone perfectly for the other completely unexpected stories we have lined up for you.
From the strange world of celebrity rules, we're going to turn inwards to the weird, wacky rules of our own minds. Because, sometimes the most unexpected things are happening right inside our own heads.
Have you ever learned a new word and then all of a sudden you start hearing it everywhere? Or maybe you notice a specific model of car and then you see it on every single street. Well, that's a real thing. It's called the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. It's not like that thing is suddenly more common. It's just that your brain has now put a little flag on it so you spot it all the time. You know the story of Pinocchio, right? Well, it turns out there's actually some real science to that whole growing nose thing. When you lie, the anxiety you feel can actually cause the temperature around your nose to go up. You can't see it with your own eyes, but thermal cameras can pick it up. The Pinocchio effect is a real, measurable thing. Okay, this next one it's really something else. There's a neurological condition called prosopagnosia, better known as face blindness. For people who have it, the part of their brain that processes faces is damaged, so they can recognize people by their voice or maybe their clothes, but the actual face, it's just a blank.
I mean, just try to wrap your head around that for a second. Looking at your partner, your parents, your best friend, and seeing a complete and total stranger. It's a pretty powerful reminder that our brains literally create the world we experience.
All right, let's lighten it up a bit with a fun fact about our bodies. Your bones, they stop growing after puberty, but your nose and your ears, they never got the memo. They're made of cartilage, which just keeps on growing your whole life, and thanks to good old gravity, they tend to get a little longer and droopier as we get older.
All right, moving on. We're about to get into some stories that prove real life is like way stranger than anything Hollywood could ever cook up. Okay, this next story it's just wild. A surgeon, Dr. Richard Batista, donates a kidney to his wife, literally saving her life. The surgery goes great. But then, just a few days later, she asks him for a divorce. So what does he do? He demands she either give the kidney back or pay him $1.5 million for it. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, look at this. 3 tons. What in the world weighs 3 tons and just falls out of the sky? It's not an elephant. It's not a car.
Yeah, gold. So back in 2018, this cargo plane in Siberia, its door basically just busts open right as it's taking off. And what happens? 3 tons of gold bars just come raining down all over the runway and the fields around it.
Now let's talk about Jeanne Calment. She was a true outlier. This woman lived to be 122 years old, the oldest verified person in history. But her lifestyle? It defied just about every piece of health advice you've ever heard. So what was her secret? Kale smoothies and running marathons? Nope. It was a daily glass of wine, a whole lot of dark chocolate, and even the occasional cigarette. Honestly, she's still a complete puzzle to scientists. Sometimes, the most incredible history is literally hiding right under our feet. 3 kids were just out exploring a creek in North Dakota when they stumbled on this huge bone. And what was it? Oh, just a 67-million-year-old T-Rex fossil, one of the most complete ever found, discovered completely by chance.
But hey, it's not just us humans who have all the weird stories. The animal kingdom is absolutely full of behaviors that are far stranger than anything we could ever make up.
All right, all you cat people out there, listen up. This might change how you see your furry little friend. According to animal behavior experts, your cat doesn't see you as its owner. It sees you as a really big, kinda clumsy, hairless cat who is terrible at hunting. Which, by the way, is why they sometimes bring you those lovely gifts. They think you're starving.
And speaking of cats, their senses are on another level. They can see in the dark about 6 times better than we can. It's all thanks to this reflective layer behind their retina. It's also what gives them that spooky, glowing eye look in photos.
Ever looked at the Australian coat of arms? It's got a kangaroo and an emu on it, and there's a really cool symbolic reason for that choice. Neither of those animals can easily move backward. It's a powerful symbol for a nation that is always moving forward.
Okay, this one is just flat out hilarious. A zoo in the UK got 5 new parrots and put them all in the same enclosure. Well, they quickly picked up on each other's bad habits and basically formed a little potty-mouthed gang that started swearing at all the visitors. The zoo had no choice but to separate them to clean up their act.
All right, for our final fact, we're going somewhere truly incredible. Deep down to the bottom of the ocean, we're going to see how even in death, nature can create something absolutely spectacular. This whole process is called a whale fall.
So when a giant 40-ton whale dies, its body sinks all the way down to the dark, empty ocean floor. And this whale fall, as it's called, kicks off an incredible chain of life. First up, you have the big guys, sharks and other scavengers. They come and feast for months. Then, once they're done, a whole new wave of life arrives, including these crazy bone-eating worms that feed on the fat inside the skeleton. And over decades, that skeleton literally becomes a reef, a thriving city in the deep. Just one whale's death creates an entire ecosystem that can last for 100 years. The whale fall is just this profound reminder of all the hidden cycles of nature. And that just makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a single death can spark a century of life in the darkest corners of our planet, what other incredible, unseen processes are happening all around us, just waiting for us to find them?